Alright guys, Chris from 4K Motoring here. Today we're going to do just a very basic video on really what it takes to trailer you know, a U-Haul trailer or anything else really. It could be a boat, could be just about anything. Just kind of the basics you need to be aware of before you get into this. It can get pretty complicated depending on how advanced you go and how heavy you go, but for the most part this will get you started. Alright, first thing you need to know when you get started is exactly how much your vehicle can tow. Okay, most vehicles will have this sticker on the inside here. We'll have this one, we'll have another one here. They both give you some weights, okay? So the gross vehicle weight rating is really what we're looking for here. 8,800 pounds is what we have for this vehicle. We can see that the newer vehicles have an actual rating for your payload capacity. So it tells you what you can actually put in the vehicle itself. And for this Titan XD from Nissan, 2,100 pounds, a little bit over, 2,149 is the total weight for the you can put in the vehicle. From that we can kind of get a little bit of information here. We're going to know the weight rating for the vehicle. We'll know how much the vehicle itself weighs. And with knowing how much the vehicle weighs, we can subtract that from the total weight rating here, the combined weight rating that's listed, and we can see the trailering ability of the vehicle. So from that 8,800 pound gross vehicle weight rating, we can take that 2,149 and subtract it from that 8,800, and that gives us our total vehicle weight, unloaded of course. So add a little bit with the driver and with a little bit of gear. The vehicle should generally be about 80% of the total weight, max weight pulled on the trailer. You can do some quick math there to see what that safely lines up as. And then we can kind of look at the equipment we have as well. So running the numbers there puts our total vehicle weight rating, our vehicle itself weighs just under 7,000 pounds. So with that, we know if the tow vehicle needs to be on average about 80% of what the trailer is, that puts us around 8,000 pounds with the trailer for a safe towing experience. What we've got here, we've got just a general underbody hitch. This one's a class 4. The drop hitch we've decided is just a 3-inch drop here, and we can see on the trailer itself here it's kind of faded, but this is a 7,500 pound 2-inch ball setup. So that kind of puts us right in that safety rating. So we can tow with this setup. It's always rated at whatever the minimum is here. So we're good for 7,500 pounds, which puts us just under that 80% mark for the vehicle, which really should make us have a pretty good time, be pretty stable, not have a lot to worry about. I know technically the tow rating for this vehicle is almost 12,000 pounds. Personally, I believe when you're getting to those weights, you're kind of stressing the vehicle and putting yourself in a bad situation should, you know, adverse scenarios arise. So we'll go ahead and we'll see how we hook it up and see how it handles. Alright guys, here's a cool trick you might not know. Nissan's and a lot of other brands here, I know GM and I think Ram at this point too, has a really cool trick with the keys. Hot summer days like this, car is baking, truck is baking, don't really want to get in it when it's this hot. Take the key, hit unlock, press and hold the unlock button, and you'll see the windows roll down in the front. Lets a little bit of that heat out, a little bit of airflow in. Before you take off as well, one of the other big things you have to consider is your tire pressure. A lot of the half-ton vehicles and some of the SUVs, they come with the P-rated tires. They're a very comfortable ride, but their load carrying ability is very much dependent on the tire pressure. Much like the E-rated tires, the LT tires as well, are very much load rated. So that sticker inside your door that tells you your weight ratings also tells you your tire pressures for those weight ratings. Always know the max tire pressures of your tires as well, should be printed on the tires. The max load rated for each tire is available at the max pressure for that tire. So if you're running a very heavy trailer, kind of at that maximum load ability, and there is some math involved here, for your tire, for the weight of the vehicle, and for what the tires are rated for. You might need to consider going up to those higher weights, not only in the rear of the vehicle, but in the front as well, since the whole vehicle kind of is responsible for that load. Here's another little tip for you guys, something that's pretty easily overlooked. When going to pick up your trailer, or before you hook up to your trailer, whether you own it or whether you're going to rent one, get gas before you do. You will thank me for that tip. I know it seems like a very simple thing, but it is obviously much easier to get into and around a gas station with no trailer than it is with a trailer. So make it easier on yourself if possible. Go ahead and just get fuel before you go. Your gas mileage will be reduced while you pull a trailer, depending on the weight of the trailer and the shape and that sort of thing. It would depend how much it gets reduced, but you will get worse gas mileage while pulling a trailer. So go ahead and get gas first. So today, as a lot of you pickup truck owners have probably done in the past, I've got conned into helping somebody move because I have the truck. We're moving to a place about 2 hours away, so I'm grabbing a trailer, that way we can get all his big furniture stuff. Don't own a trailer, so we're here at U-Haul. You can see all the trailers over there. None of them are very heavy. They're all pretty easy to tow. So we'll go ahead and get one hooked up here, and we'll talk about it on the way. Alright guys, due to a bit of a memory card error, didn't get a chance to show you how the chains get hooked up on the trailer. On the trailer that you're hooking up, it should have two safety chains, one coming off the left side of the trailer, one coming off the right. And you notice on your hitch here, outside of the actual hitch receiver itself, you'll have a left loop and a right loop. Okay, sometimes these loops are horizontal, sometimes they are vertical like this. Just know your vehicle, each one has them. Your chains cross when they hook up. The left chain on the trailer, left chain goes to the right hook. The right chain comes over to the left hook. That allows them to make kind of an X underneath your hitch. If your trailer were to fall, if the hitch came disconnected, something like that, those chains cross would catch that tongue from being dug in the ground here. Obviously, which could be pretty catastrophic for the trailer. Likewise, your third chain will go to the, if you have surge brakes, will go to the kind of emergency lever on those brakes. So while the trailer gets caught, that third chain will actually yank the stop lever on that emergency lever on those brakes and cause the trailer brakes to come on, so it doesn't come careening, you know, by itself down the road. So I wish I would have had that included here in the video. I apologize for the error, but we'll get back to it. Alright guys, once you have the trailer hooked up, make sure you test the lights. It's a very important thing. Nissan has a really cool feature where you click and hold the lock button on the vehicle and stand behind it, and it'll cycle through all the lights, the running lights, brake lights, and turn lights. With the Nissan Titan, the 2nd gen, regular and XD, it comes with this feature. All you have to do is hit the lock button once, hit and hold it a second time, it'll beep, and we see we have the lights flashing, left turn signal, right turn signal, brake, and you can see the running lights are activated as well, and then it beeps to let you know it's done. Easy way for one person to check, make sure all their stuff works. U-Haul just uses a flat 4-pin hitch, which you guys saw. Not my favorite, but it pretty universal. Also, if you have tow mirrors, make sure you extend those. Biggest thing is being able to see around the trailer. The U-Haul trailers are pretty narrow. The trailer themselves are about as wide as the pickup truck is. Fenders stick out a little bit, but the bodies are narrow, so you can see around pretty well. Okay, some basic tips for driving with the trailer. Obviously it sticks out behind you a good bit, so all your turns need to be a little bit wider than they would be otherwise. Your trailer size really dictates how wide it has to be, but just as a general rule, you're going to have to make wider turns, so make sure you keep that in mind. It's easy to forget. Also, whenever you increase the weight of your vehicle, obviously your tires and brakes are now stressed a little bit harder. Make sure your distances between vehicles is a little bit longer. It does take longer to stop. Not depending on the weight of the trailers, the U-Haul ones generally aren't too bad, especially in a full-size truck, but it does change things a bit. There's two main types of braking systems on trailers now. A lot of the bigger U-Haul trailers have what's called surge brakes. On this tongue, there's a big hydraulic ram. Actually, two parts. The part that connects the ball here is a big piston inside of here. Moves back and forth, presses a big hydraulic cylinder, forces brake fluid through the line, as opposed to the electronic trailer brakes that are a solid tongue, actuated by obviously your electronic brake controller. This is simple. Hydraulic brakes work for all vehicles, whether they have a brake controller or not. Great for everyday cars, especially the little SUVs. It does have issues with driving though. Bumps and changes in speed can make it kind of porpoise a little bit, or kind of lurch back and forth. So it's definitely not the ideal system to have. The more modern type is electrically controlled brakes. A lot of vehicles now come with brake controllers wired into the 7-pin harnesses they have. And that allows a lot more accurate control, proportional control, and really for a more stable trailer, including sway control and a lot of the new ones. Other than that, there's not a whole lot different. Some vehicles have a tow haul mode that really help the transmission when kind of getting up to those higher weights. Take some of the load off the brake and off the engine, which is pretty helpful for you. It does come at the cost of fuel mileage though. So come with us, we'll watch. We had about 16.5 miles per gallon when we started this trip. Had a little bit of wiring issues with the trailer. Got that sorted out, so we are now getting ready to load up and be on our way. One more little tip for loading. Tongue weight is very important. Generally 10 to 15% of the trailer should be tongue weight, but the tongue weight should always be more than the trailer weight at the back of the trailer. So I'll show you what I mean here. Obviously this is the tongue. So this is where you want most of the weight so it doesn't sway on you. We'll go around. You'll see U-Haul has a little sign they put in right about where the axles are. You can see that kind of right on the mid-axle line. You want your weight, majority weight, 60% or so on the front, 40% on the rear. That way you prevent, that dangerous trailer sway. We are on the road now. So what I have is a U-Haul 6x12 enclosed trailer. The weight on it is just under 2,000 pounds empty. Has a max loaded weight of about 4,500 pounds. I know we're not there. We might be somewhere in that 3,500 range, I think, right now. So I don't really notice it behind me a whole lot. I do have the truck and tow haul mode. It's a 12-foot trailer, at least enclosed. I think the tongue is a little bit longer, so we are making a little bit wider turns. We're being cognizant of it being back there. Did have a little wiring issue to fix with it, with U-Haul trailers. One of the right turn signal wire was split, so I had to splice that, which is not uncommon for some of their equipment. But go ahead and come along for the ride. I think we have the tire pressure checked. We made sure we retightened the ball hitch after we drove a little bit to get to our spot here. So I think we're pretty well ready to go. All right, so merging on the highway here with this extra weight. It is in tow haul mode. I'm gonna do kind of a gradual acceleration here. The biggest thing that kills your gas mileage with towing or hauling big loads is your speed. So if you want to retain anything close to the gas mileage you get or the range you had without the trailer attached. As close to the speed limit, sometimes even a little under the speed limit, is really what you have to do. So we've just about made it to our destination here. I actually didn't do too bad. I had the cruise control set at 70 pretty much the whole time, and I've shown an average of 13.4 miles per gallon, which, you know, can't argue with that at all. Hope you guys found this video informative. Hope you enjoyed it. It's been a long day for me, but hopefully you guys have a good night. I know I will. And thank you for liking and subscribing, and we'll see you in the future.